planty people, I'm Krista with Botanical Bird, and you may notice that I have a change in scenery today. So my lease was up at my old apartment and I moved in with a friend for a few months while I wait for my boyfriend's lease to be up because we're gonna be moving in together, yay! What I wanted to talk about today is an unboxing for 2 plants that I ordered from Indonesia. I have never ordered plants internationally before, and so I wanted to share this experience with you. I ordered these 2 plants from an Etsy seller called 1000 Tropical Aroid, and it's all one word, and I'll put that right here so you can find the link easily. And I ordered 2 rare philodendrons, which are not easily found in the US. There are some vendors who do have them, but they're just so expensive. But then the flip side of buying internationally is that usually the plant is cheap, but then shipping is quite expensive. So I think it's kind of just personal preference. I think that there can be risks when you order internationally, such as like whether or not you can trust the seller, and then the plant going through shock of being shipped internationally versus if a plant is sold here in the US, then if it did come from internationally, hopefully that seller has waited long enough for it to acclimate here, and then the plant only goes through a little bit of shock from being shipped from within the US. So the 2 plants I ordered were a Philodendron pastizanum and a Philodendron melanochrysum crossed with varicosum. And I think the colloquial name for the second one is a Philodendron splendid, I think. So I will be showing you both. I unfortunately did not film the actual unboxing because I wanted to open them up right away and I knew that I wouldn't be filming right then. So I took pictures throughout the unboxing process so I can post them here and kind of show you as I talk about them. So they both came shipped in one box, and the seller uses DHL Express, and so it came really quickly, and the default is that it requires a signature, but I didn't want to wait around at home the entire time, so I could click on the link that they emailed me and change the settings so that it doesn't need a signature, but I could also put a note of like where around the premise I wanted it shipped. So I like gave them special notes on like a cool place to like hide the plant because I didn't want anyone to come take it. So both plants came shipped in a very slender styrofoam box, which I will put right here. It was taped up all with packaging tape, like the entire thing was covered in tape. And so it took a bit to unpackage it, but I'd rather it be really well packaged and secure than have to worry about any of that. And so it did come with a phytosanitary certificate, which was also on the outside, and I think that just like proves that it's safe to ship, that it's not bringing in any pests or anything. And inside was a slender styrofoam box, and both of them were in that, which I will post right here. And if you guys hear any extraneous noises in the background, like I said, I'm living with my roommate, and so that could be that. Instead of at my old apartment, it was just me. And so there will be new noises, fun noises, and there's a dog here, which I'm really excited about. So both plants were in that styrofoam box, and they were wrapped up with like some kind of tissue paper, and then inside that the roots were wrapped tightly with moist sphagnum moss and then plastic wrap around that. So it was pretty safe, and each plant was tagged with the name, which I thought was cute with like a pink sparkly twist tie. I was really impressed to see that both of them were in that slender container. The plants are a little bit smaller than maybe I would have hoped, but the seller did send pictures eventually, and they both looked pretty happy. I ordered the plants on the 4th of July, and the seller said that it would be ready to ship within 5 to 7 business days, which it was not. It was at least like 2 weeks. So that was like twice the amount of time of what they estimated, which I was not happy with. And it took them a while to send me pictures and stuff. But when I did message, the seller did respond, and I think she was sick and she told me that. So I think that's part of why like the pictures came late and stuff. But I expressed my concern because I spent lots of money on these plants and a lot of time had elapsed without me seeing what I was actually buying, like the picture of the actual plant. So that's why I was concerned. After the plant was ready to be shipped, it came so quickly. Like I think it arrived in like 2 or 3 days from Indonesia. I have no idea how that happened, so I was pretty impressed about that. So that's a little bit bit about the whole process. So it did take a while for the plant to be ready, but after it was, then the process was expedited, it seemed. So as I said, both plants were wrapped individually and they came out looking beautiful. I'll put the picture right here of first one and then the other. So they came out looking really great. Some of the Pastazanum's leaves were a bit folded, but I mean, it's coming from a different country, in a different continent. Like you gotta expect that it's gonna have some imperfections. The Melanochrysum crossed with the Varicosum seemed really great. That one, it seemed like after I unboxed them, then they started to wilt pretty quickly and I couldn't get them potted up super soon. I had to wait till later that night because I wasn't home. So now I think I'm starting to see some of the effects of shipping on them, but that's to be expected. I think that these plants are beautiful, especially considering that they came from a different continent. They came really quickly. I do recommend this seller. I think that there were some things that could have been improved with my experience, but I think overall I'm really happy. And so now to show you the plants today. So this is the, well, I'll put it on this side, the Philodendron Pastazanum or Pastazanum, not sure which. And I have it in a pot with moist sphagnum moss in a Ziploc bag for humidity, and I mist inside the bag also to make sure that's humid. I put the name of the plant in duct tape with the date. You can't see it here, just so I know how long it's been in here. I potted it last night. So here's a close-up of one leaf and then the other. And the leaf I'm showing you now is the one that has a little bit more damage, but I imagine that more leaves will come. And actually, I should show you this. This plant has another leaf that will be coming. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show you. Can you see this this red stick looking thing will be a new leaf. So it has two big leaves or medium sized leaves, I guess, and one on the way. So that's the Pastazanum. And like on the tops of the leaves, it's starting to like wilt a little bit. But like I said, coming from a different country, I am pretty darn happy with this. Then the Melanochrysum crossed with the Varicosum. This is what it looks like. So I wanted a quart-sized bag just to put the bottom pot in, but like I said, most of my stuff is packed up right now because I just moved and I'm about to move in a couple more months. And so lots of things are packed up. So I couldn't find a quart-sized bag, but I have lots of gallon bags at my disposal. So I just put two to cover the entire thing. But taking it out, like I said, this is the plant that seemed to kind of decline the quickest yesterday after I got it. I would have expected it to decline in shipping, but it seems like after I unboxed it was when it started to look a little bit sad. So some of the leaves are, and I'm looking to make sure there are no pests, some of the leaves are kind of getting spotty and a little bit yellow. I don't know if you can tell, but like shipping from a different country is really stressful. So I don't blame it. I would probably be spotting and yellow also if I got shipped 2 days. This is my Philodendron Melanochrysum crossed with Varicosum. The thing I like about this is it's almost like a Philodendron micans, but the leaves are bigger. When the leaves first unfurl, they are this light green yellow color, and then as they harden off, they turn to this deep emerald. And just like the micans, it's super, super soft. Unfortunately, I lost this leaf in the process. I think it was when it was attached like here. I think it was when I had it in my car going from one house to the next. It just got like kind of black and wilted, so I just cut it off. I wish I could propagate this leaf, but I don't think I can do just a leaf cutting with philodendrons. Like there's no node, it's just a little piece of the petiole. And so I think that's a goner, but I want to like have it somewhere as decoration. So this one was a little bit different. Like I said, the stem was getting kind of wobbly, and so I just attached it with knitting yarn as I do to this bamboo stake just to stabilize it. I'm not trying to train it up yet. I just want roots to grow. And the reason, I should explain, the reason I have both of these in sphagnum moss is I have had a lot of success with rehab plants, putting them in sphagnum moss. And I haven't done a ton of research on this or any research at all, but I think a reason that sphagnum moss is good for kind of rehabbing plants is that it allows a lot more oxygen to the roots than soil. Soil is a lot more dense and it holds more water, whereas sphagnum moss does get moist and hold water, but then it dries a lot easier and oxygen can make its way a lot better to the roots. So Both of these plants are rooted. The roots on the pastazanum were bigger, as it's a bigger plant, than the roots on this melanochrysum crossed with the varicosum. And so I just really wanted to encourage root growth. So I will keep it in this pot with sphagnum moss in the humidity bag for a couple of months probably, and then when I feel very confident that it's got some nice strong roots, I'll put it in soil. But for now, this is the situation that we're rocking, and I love it. So this plant has 4 leaves. It had 5 yesterday, but we're rocking 4 now, and that is okay. And right now, I believe I have an east-facing window maybe. There's a bay window in this room, which I've never had before, so I'm very lucky. And so I'm putting like all of my plants there that need the most light. I have a very small, I think, south-facing window that has a tree in front of it, and so that's dappled light. So the best chance that these plants have right now, I think, is the east-facing window, and so I'm putting them right up there so they can get as much sunlight as possible so they can continue to grow. All right, well, have you guys ordered any plants internationally lately? Or if you have any recommendations for other companies? This plant I got from Indonesia. I know Thailand is another really common country to order rare plants from. So if you have any questions about any of these 2 plants, let me know, or if you have tips, because these are both new to me, obviously. I would love that. Feel free to comment them below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Botanical Bird, and bird has a U in it, not an I. And follow my planty Instagram, which is @botanical_bird. All right, everyone, remember, I'm rooting for you. Bye.